again. So now for this video, I'm going to share with you the lecture one, right? I'm going to share the content of the lecture on situation assessment and strategy formation. That is the topic for our lecture one, right? So just for information, right? So the situation assessment divided into two categories. So we have external environment and also the internal environment, which is the company, right? Let me show you the slide first. Yeah, give me a second to upload the slide for you. So the first one, we're going to discover what we call as situation assessment, the external environment. And again, just to let you know that we already uploaded the lecture notes. Okay, the same lecture notes on VLE. So the on the author DL, you can download it from there. Right. So let's have a look at the slides. So situation assessment, as I mentioned just now, we have two situations we need to assess. First is the external forces or the external environment, and then we have the internal factors or the company itself. So if you look here, we have the four C's: the customers, the competition, the context, and the company, which are the assessments that we can further discover. Right. So let's have a look at the next slide, which is the elements, okay, of the context. PES. Okay, PES. What is PES? Is political, economic context, social, and also technological or physical context. Right. This general context or environment within which a firm, product, or brands operates has pervasive and complex effect on the strategy and results. So the classification illustrated here, right, impose discipline, and assessment stimulates brainstorming and assures the completeness, right? So this PES, okay, this PES or is a model actually. Yeah? We can use it to assess the external environment, right? From the perspective of political or politics, regulatory, and then in the economic context, right, and also the social or cultural context, and finally we have technological and physical context, right? Okay, if you look at the model that I show you here, it's the five forces industry analysis. It is an analysis of the industry or industries within which the firm operates. It's more specific micro perspective embedded within the broader macro setting of situation assessment and also the four P's that I mentioned earlier. So the five forces together influence industry profitability. What are the five forces? Here, the bargaining power of supplies, bargaining power of buyers, threat of substitute, threat of new entrants, and also the rivalry, the competitive rivalry. Okay, these are the five forces in this analysis that we can use to analyze the external environment. Right. So next we move on to the laws of strategic marketing. Right. So managers or the organizations out there may choose a strategy that builds directly on one of these generalizations, or they may choose a strategy that less directly tied to a given generalization, but they cannot change the reality. Okay, for example, let's take an example of Toyota. Okay, this company builds its strategy on the benefits of scale effect. They produce more cars than anyone in the world based on a set of common core processes. Although another car company such as Porsche, BMW, Mercedes may choose to forgo scale to compete on high performance using small scale production, it cannot change the reality of the scale effects. Yeah. So if you look here, right, the laws of marketing strategy describe essential of regularities in the way things work and the way things relate. Okay, the product life cycle, the scale effect, and the market share. Okay, the product life cycle again, the scale effect, and also the market share. Right. So this is the product life cycle, which will later we can discover in the next chapter. But for this chapter, I just briefly let you know that we have this product life cycle as part of the marketing, the laws of strategic marketing. Okay, we have here the scale, the time of sales and profit in the graph shape. Right. So next is about the the market share effects or share leverage. So firms with higher market share tend to be more profitable. Okay, they share profitability. Okay, the skill leads to a lower unit cost. They can shape strategy around the market shares, ignore the ambiguity in the shape of ROI findings, right? So that is in general about the we call this on the situation assessment, okay, on external environment. So next, I move on to the internal factors, right? Internal factors or the company itself, right? What is all about, okay, for that topic, right? So when we talk about the situation assessment, the company, right? Okay, in a simplest term, so marketing strategy is about matching the external opportunities and also the internal strength. And this topic we focus on the internal strength and also the I can say maybe we can find the weaknesses, okay, within the company, right? So the obvious complement to the external analysis is the development of the thorough and honest understanding of the firm itself. You must understand your company. You must understand the organization first, right? You must know your capability and so on, right? So talking about the what we call this the assessment, right? The company assessment. It includes four related consideration. The first one is the guidance statements. What are the missions and values of the company? And then assess the past performance, the previous performance, and the current strategy. And then we establish preliminary objective and targets. And finally, we identify the strategic gaps, or we call it planning gaps, right? One way to think about strategy is to think about the gap that exists between where we are and where we want to be, right? Okay, now we move on to the we're talking about mission and vision, right? Of the company. It should be there, right? It's a guidance for the employees, not just the managers, but all the employees. It's a guidance for them, right? To work to know where the company is going to, right? So they must have goals, objectives, right? Goals, okay, are specified mission and vision statement, while objective are related to the marketing plans, specific time periods with specific marketing mixes. Right. Next, we move on to the stakeholders theory, which we need to know as well about who are the stakeholders of the organizations. All right. What are the the persons or the institutions who store what we call these shares, right? Who are the stakeholders? It can be individual, it can be group, it can be organization impacted by an outcome of an organization, by the outcome of the organization. So internal stakeholders, it can be employees, it can be owners, it can be shareholders, it can be managers. They are simply anyone within the organization. External shareholders, on the other hand, include suppliers, governments, customers, trade unions, and also the creditors. These are people and organizations that are outside of the business. So you can see here we have internal stakeholder, we have external stakeholder here. You can see clear image of the stakeholder and also shareholder, right? So let's move on to the assessing the past performance and the current strategy, and also we can look at the objective and also the targets that a company should have, an organization should have, as a guidance, right? This is the planning gap or strategy gap. Okay, this is where we can say that where are we and where are we going to go, where to go. All right, so this is the objective, this is the planning gap, this is the momentum of present strategy. You can see the planning gap. If the gap is big, meaning that you are way, okay, in achieving the objective. All right, so this illustrate, okay, the idea of strategic gap. Okay, so if you can see here, we have past performance is past sales or share or past profitability. We have future, yeah, it's the marketing or financial objective, right? So next, it's on the product and market expansion grid. So marketing needs to identify, evaluate, and select market opportunities and establish strategies for capturing them. One of useful devices available out there for identifying the growth and opportunities is the product market expansion. Grid, as you can see right in front of you now. Yeah, it's the grid. It's a product market expansion grid. So we have four: market penetration, we have market development, we have product development, we have diversification. Right? When we're talking about market penetration, it's about uh, existing product and existing markets. This is how you read the grid. And for the new products and existing markets, diversification, new products and new markets, and market development is for new markets and existing product. Okay, so now we move on to the integrating all the situation assessment. Okay, from both external and also internal. All right, so we need to take care. We need to consider both internal and external assessments. Okay, then you can have a good, then you can plan to formulate your marketing strategy. Right. So the next slide is the final slide, which is about the strategy formation. So once we have done with the what we call that assessments, internal and also external, so we can move on to the strategy formation based on the analysis that we get from the assessment, internal and external assessment. Right, strategic marketing process. Right, there are four essential stages in this process. We can see here situation assessment, which just now we learned about it. Right, next we're going to move on the strategy formation here. Okay, strategy formation. Right, the objective of strategy formation is to meet some specific needs of some specific customers better than the competition within enduring profitable relationship. So there are four sub steps within the strategy formation here. If you look at the image here, so identify the competitive advantage, segmenting the market, targeting, and also positioning. These are the things that involved in strategy formation, right? So look at the four. This is the four positioning. Okay, so that's it for this lecture one. Okay, we start with the assessment of the external environment, then we assess the internal environment, which is the company, and finally, from the assessment results, we can do some analysis to formulate or to do the formation of the marketing strategy. Okay, guys, that's it for this video, right? So we're going to continue on the next topic on the next video for lecture two. Have a nice day, everyone.